Hey Vlad, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so honored by you being here. Thank you for accepting our invitation. It was nice meeting you in Vegas at ScaleCon 2024, organized by the Tech Tribe and MSKIP, NSP Camp. What do you think about the event? When did you return back home?
When did I return? I returned on Friday, and yeah, I like event. I even registered for next year already. I believe price, not price performance, content performance was a great balanced, and
Awesome.
yeah, I like it.
What was your favorite presentation? Like, what was the thing you learned the most during the event?
Well, the speakers, one guy was cold guys. I'm bad with names. Another guy was direct mail, and the
Mhm.
third guy is this ideas prospecting. And of
Oh,
course, two Gillettes. I know them personally, Brian and Robert. Yeah, they're always great. And of course, this Paul Green guy. It was
awesome,
just a
awesome.
show. It was just a show, but impactful show, you know.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree with that.
a lot of people kind of was made to think about it. So, you know,
Absolutely, I agree with that. Any actionable steps that you are ready to take after the learning experience?
actionable steps. Sure, actionable steps are. I got couple. Number one, I signed for this website
Uh-huh.
program because I finally made my mind to rebrand one of
Awesome,
my activities, and we're going to create a new website, create a new identity, create everything, and
awesome.
job is in the motion. I also signed for a couple of vendors offers. I just came from a presentation, and I mean it's been useful. It's been useful, and I hope it will go this way.
Absolutely, I completely agree with that. I came back with a big, long list of actionable steps with my marketing and my sales team, and there is a lot
Hmm.
of work to do. And we are so grateful for everything that we learned there. Well, I'm Randy Rosales, CEO of Freelance Latin America, and I'm very excited today to have here Vlad Galant. He's the CEO of 911 PC Health. Vlad has an impressive background in IT. He started back in the 90s with one of the very first internet service providers in Lithuania. And now he's running 911 Busy Health over in San Francisco. They focus on IT management, cybersecurity, cloud services, and more. Vlad, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Could you please tell us a little bit more about your history and about your company and what you guys do?
You have to define this a little bit more because I can go hours, I can go a minute. Background. You pretty much describe everything. Yes, I came from Lithuania in 2000 in US. It was pretty much standard setup, H1 visa, startup. Startup didn't work out for a long time, and I just after startup closed the doors, I started to do uh, computer computer work because I didn't want to work for big companies. I didn't want to be somebody's minion. I don't want to have a boss, and I just became that computer guy who goes under the desk and unplugs these dirty cables. You know, and after several years, I started to grow. I started to get more and more customers, and it took me a while. But then in 2007, I hired the first employee, and since then I kind of started to climb a little bit. I'm not, to be honest, I'm not happy about my growth rate, so I should be a little bit higher than what I am right now. But I just create a comfortable zone, which I'm in, and I believe that what kind of helps me to be more proactive and more productive at this point. That kind of my rock. I have to move aside at some point.
I get it. It's good to have rocks in place so we are always on track and hitting those milestones and hitting those scorecards. Very important. I agree with that. Now, why did you decide to hire people remotely? So you hire this first person, I assume locally in office in the
All right.
US. Now, what made you decide to explore hiring techs or hiring staff remotely outside the US?
Well, there is no brainer, number one, cost, which is incomparable. It's just incomparable. Number two, quality you can potentially get for this little cost. So it's kind of double bonus. If you hit the right person for that cost, it just, you could consider you get two for the price of one, or even three for the price of one. So
Yeah,
obviously cost and a variety of different talents. It's just vast of different talents. Again, it's not an easy task. You have to go through many people until you find the right one, obviously. But when you get the right one, it's really worth it. It's really worth it. Plus, this time difference, different time zones allows me at this point of time, at this point, allows me to start serving early bird tickets like 5 a.m. my time. And when we say 24/7, technically it's not 24/7, but it's at least 27. 20 hours a day we can respond to the ticket with the remote guys.
I completely agree with that. Now, during this journey, is there a specific moment in the past year that really stands out to you? Something that makes you think, yeah, we're on track, we got the right fit, we got the right person for the right seat in these remote hirings?
Well, I brought my first remote guy back in 2014, right? And the guy came from my part of the world, from the ex-Soviet Union, from Ukraine. So
From
it's
Eastern
it's
Europe.
it's yes, it's Eastern Europe, right? First, it's the same mentality. It's easy to communicate. It's the same language. It's a pretty much common expectation and shared memories. So it's way easier. Then I brought another one, like probably half year later. They both still with me after all these years. So then I just started to explore different country. And again, remote guy, to bring remote people from their different culture, from the different mentalities, it's an extra challenge. Okay,
Absolutely.
you have to overcome this challenge, otherwise you will not succeed. I tried to hire somebody from Philippines, and again, it's different. It's not bad, it's not good, it's not better, it's not worse, it's just different. And this difference I couldn't really adapt, so I ended up not hiring anyone. It just was cultural misunderstanding.
Yeah, the cultural
uh,
need.
yeah, cultural different. It's just different. Again, it's not, don't get me wrong, it's not worse, it's not bad, it's not good, it's different. And a couple years later, I started to explore Latin America, because technically it's a really close mentality, it's a really close culture. It's
Especially
not the
to the
same.
US customers.
Right, not to US. I would say I still preserve my culture, even being in the US for 25 years. I still preserve my personal culture, my personal mentality. I came here when I was like 32, right? So it's not easy just erase everything and start from scratch. And of course, subconsciously, when I hire somebody, I wanna that person to be at least kind of close to my culture, to my mentality, to my way of thinking. So if you can get this mental culture connection, it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I have heard from other customers that they have hired in the Philippines and they say, well, the English is great, time
Mhm.
zone sometimes is a killer, but the main challenge is that they don't have that strong strategic thinking, that
Exactly,
strategic mindset
exactly,
that they can find
exactly.
in
Yeah,
professionals in South America and Latin America, for example.
absolutely. I talked to over 100 people when I was hiring, and English, yes, English great, but everyone I talked to, they just needed a script. So give me a script, I'll do from A to Z.
Yeah,
But when it comes out of box thinking, they just
correct,
stuck. But again,
correct.
maybe it's time, it's different people, it's a million of people. Of course, you can find somebody. But in the majority, whoever applies, they come from a big call center, or they come from a big companies, and they train to just follow a script. And that's not what I'm looking for. We're a small company, so We have like 8 people, and everyone wears a lot of different hats. So
Yeah,
you must think out of box. You must be creative. You must to be
right.
proactive. If not, there is no one who would just manage you and tell you what to do every single step.
Now, what have been the biggest challenges besides culture or besides time zones to manage a remote team?
Big challenge. Look, it's everything comes to the same. We don't have management. We don't have procedure like you have to report every single day to somebody. So if a person doesn't have this habit to own a ticket, to own an issue, to promptly close everything, and specifically with the time difference and with being remote, it might become a challenge and difficult to monitor that person and to reach out and to explain. And I've changed two or three guys for the past of the working probably with you. Yeah, I believe with you. And but finally, I found someone who is doing the stuff. Who is doing the
Awesome.
stuff.
Yeah, and as you grow, you mature your standard operating procedures, your training techniques, and you improve your overall processes. Now, I understand that you first started hiring and interviewing people by yourself. What made
Mhm.
you come to a staffing agency like ours, like to do the recruitment part of the process for you?
Oh, guys, that I have to give a compliment to Takla personally. She was the one who made everything so simple, so organized, so well prepared. It's a pleasure. It's
Awesome.
just a pleasure. It's no, I'm it's really hard to get something positive from me in terms of in terms of feedback, but yeah, everything is you guys have a really well organized and working process. So you deliver information, you deliver videos, you can actually see person before you talk to him, and then you decide, okay, this is somebody I want to talk to, or it's not.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure Takla will be super happy when she hears this feedback from you, and she's awesome. We all love her. Now, what advice could you give someone that is hesitant to hire remotely, especially technical people like IT help desk tech support or marketing people or sales people? What would you tell this person? How would you advise them about this hiring remote
Mhm,
process?
mhm. Well, I'm not gonna be unique or create something absolutely new. You have to pay for something you want to use, and the more you pay in terms of time. So you have to invest your time until you find somebody. It might take months, but once you find somebody, your investments will be well returned. So do not afraid. That's nothing to be afraid of, specifically when you work with agency like yourself, because you carry a lot of responsibilities. And I'm not working with somebody directly who I don't know. I'm working with you. I know you, and I know your company. You have your reputation, and your reputation worth a lot. So you probably won't let me down. Okay. So work with agency. That's number one. Okay. And number two, be prepared to spend a lot of time. It's not going to be easy task. But again, once you find somebody, you golden.
Yeah, to invest in this person and develop them because they will be part of your own team. So they
Right.
will be representing your company, your
Right.
brand. So you
Ex-
want to, once you find the right person, you want to develop them so they are able to hit their KPIs, they're able to satisfy your customers, and they're able to do
Right.
the job. Awesome. I completely agree with that mindset. Thank you for bringing that up. Now, one of the concerns our customers have had, and that's some of the reasons why they come to us, it's also because of cybersecurity.
Mhm.
Nowadays, cybersecurity is such a big issue for small, medium, and big companies.
Mhm.
Now, if you're working with someone directly, this person is working with their own personal computer. But when they're working through an agency, the agency provides them the computer, all the equipment to work, equipment replacement, and IT support if they need it on their equipment. And also, they will be using an equipment that will be dedicated to you to install all the cybersecurity programs, all the software, everything that you need to control that computer remotely wherever you are. Have you had any cybersecurity issues working with people that has been using their personal equipment, or has this perk that we offer, the work equipment, has made a significant impact on your decision of hiring through an agency instead of hiring you directly, this person?
I personally don't use that service, but I know for sure this is a great perk, specifically for the first-time buyers. So this is tremendous. This is really great. The reason why I didn't use, I can't even tell you because the guy is not doing much stuff for what we need. But if you're going to adopt someone who is going to be working with the clients directly and getting into the data, I would recommend to use, of course, your equipment which you own, and I am as a customer will be temporarily owned too. So it will be my computer.
Yeah, that's exactly how it's happening with your stuff. Like the people that you have hired through us, they are using
Hmm.
the computers that we are providing to them,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
those equipment is dedicated to you.
It's a great idea. It's a great idea. And again, you're a legal entity, so it's easy to deal with you. Okay. And still price is so affordable, so lucrative, it's hard to say no at this point. Again, the only again, I just repeat myself. You have to be prepared to spend time to find the right person.
I completely agree with that. And like if you were hiring remotely, you want to make sure that people you are interviewing have the technical skills, the personality skills, the cultural
Yeah,
skills. They are the
yeah,
right fits,
yeah.
they have the right experience, they have the right communication skills, personable to interact with your customers. So absolutely, hiring remotely or locally has challenges because we are interacting with people. Awesome. That's a great point. And it's being something we've been focusing to on making your remote workers, making sure they are equipped, they have everything they need to handle all challenges. Before
Mhm.
we wrap up. Is there anything else you would like to add or share on your experience on the positions you had hired through Freelance Latin America?
Give me some tips. What would you like to hear?
How are they hitting your goals? Do you have KPIs or SMART goals, kind of rocks in place for them?
Mhm.
And are you measuring if they're hitting those goals that you have for them?
So the person I hired from you.
Hmm.
So he is working directly with one of my another remote guy. So he is
Hmm.
helping to that guy. So he interact with him every day. They go through all the reports, everything he is doing. So he is just like an organic addition to my guy who is responsible for nighttime maintenance.
Hmm.
That's what one of your guys is doing right now. And management or accountability, it's a must working with a remote staff. They have to understand they're not abandoned. This is one of the biggest tips. It just came to my mind. As soon as they sense no one really watches them, no one really not control, no one really talk to them. As soon as they feel abandoned, the performance will drop dramatically. It's just in the person nature, in the people
Yeah,
nature. Yes.
communication is key.
Communication, yes. So if you don't communicate, if you think, okay, he's doing something, okay, for the money I pay, what do I care? No, you will just lose everything.
Yeah.
The guy will lose interest, the guy will lose enthusiasm, he will get bored, and that would be the end of it. And then you have to find somebody else for sure. So
Yeah.
you have to keep him on his toes. You have to talk to him, asking him, ask for reports. He has to feel alive with you.
And to generate accountability too, right? That you are assigning
Of course,
tasks
of
and they are
course.
getting
Yep,
completed
yep,
and you're
yep.
supervising
Yeah,
them.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Like you do for everyone else in your company. Remote guys, they're not different. The same,
Yeah,
the same.
remote or local, we all
Absolutely.
need
Yep,
to be
yep.
measured. We all need to be
Absolutely.
to
Yeah, yeah,
communicate
yeah.
with. We are all humans. Thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you so much for your time. It's been awesome partnering with you all these months. And yeah, looking forward and exciting for the next time we meet up. Hopefully, it's sooner than the next ScaleCon 2025. If not, it's been such a pleasure working with you. And thank you so much for sharing this with
Thank you,
us.
Randy. Thank you. Looking forward to do more business with you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Bye.